Machines. They don't rise on their own. Machines don't think. Machines don't feel. Machines don't sweat. Machines don't have to wake up early, only to know that if nothing else, there is work to be done. But for the blue-collared laborers of polo, early mornings and long checklists aren't something unfamiliar, and with indomitable spirit, they rise to meet the challenge every day. Among the devoted few whose lives revolve around the sport of polo, there's pride, dedication, and an above-standard work ethic that is apparent in their preparation. These are the men whose distinguished skill sets come at a premium for the players and organizations they work for.
The work that the grooms put in every day is the most important part of our sport and of our career. They are the guys that are with the horses 24/7. They basically put the team jersey on.
It is with high esteem and praise that we witness these Peticero bring form to the sport of ages.
Being a groom entails being at the barn at least on an easy day 8 hours, on a long day 10, 12 hours. I mean, it's dedication, hard work, and a lot of sweat.
While it might not be the most glamorous job, in the sport of polo, there are few more revered than the groom.
They have to have a very particular set of skills. They're really, really horsemen at the end of the day.
And horsemanship isn't something you can fake, especially when you take a string out on set.
Every morning and afternoon, horses have to go on exercise for at least 45 minutes to an hour a day. I do an hour with my horses.
Like many top athletes, these horses begin their training early and often at the track. Sets are an iconic and traditional exercise unique to polo, crucial to building fitness and stamina.
We start walking them for half an hour, trot them for 15 minutes, and then walk them for another 15 minutes. If a horse isn't walking or trotting properly, it means it's not in shape to play.
They feel good!
It's tough. Some of them are lazy, some of them are pullers, some of them are kickers and biters, so it's a lot of babysitting, but it's just a whole process of getting ready for a game.
Yet, all of the hard work that the players and grooms deliver day in and day out would be in vain without the contribution of the farrier.
Hola, soy Juan Peralta y soy de Argentina. Soy el herrador de los caballos del equipo de Valiente, acá en Denver.
It's the farrier's job to make sure every horse has a perfectly fitting shoe. Shoes enhance performance while simultaneously protecting the foot from damage.
Bueno, a mí lo que me gusta de herrar es que yo tengo mucho tiempo trabajando de peticero, mucho contacto con el caballo y aprendes todos los días. Los mismos caballos te enseñan cosas diferentes, ¿no? Es como nosotros, las manos, todos tenemos las manos diferentes, los caballos igual.
What Juan is referring to is the fact that no two hooves are alike, and therefore, each individual shoe must be custom fit. The repercussions of a poorly fitted shoe can be swift and devastating to both horse and rider. Following, it is imperative to have a farrier like Juan to ensure positive performance out on the field. But let's be clear, not just any field will hold up to the stride of an iron-cleated steed. Maintenance crews must hold themselves to exacting standards to keep up with the demands of the game.
A human doesn't nearly put the amount of torque on a field that a horse going 35 miles an hour and then stopping and turning does.
You can play at the highest level of polo here.
We're just here getting it done every day. It's our job to make sure that first and foremost the fields are safe and playable, and secondary, beautiful and green. The main goal is to make sure that the horse can come, plant their hoof into the ground, take a nice divot without slipping. One of the most important tools we use is a deep tine aerator. It really softens up the soil so that we can run fast, stop on a dime, and turn with the horses without slipping.
Here the play is a lot faster and honestly safer because of the fields.
But even with meticulous planning, restless preparation, and ideal playing conditions, there always has to be a loser.
Oh, for me, I mean, I'm pissed off. I don't like losing. I thought we had the win, and we didn't pull it through.
We went into this game needing to win because, the first round's the most important. If you win, you're almost guaranteed to go through. If you lose a second game in the tournament, you're out. This is the first game of the Colorado Open. We played against Scone, which is a really tough team. Guille Terrera is their lead guy, playing with Augustin Nero. The two of them made some plays together today that were pretty unreal.
It was a tough loss. I mean, I thought the first half we had a really strong half. The second half, I think we came out a little beat up from missing a lot of goals. And the other team, I mean, really brought it to us. And they took advantage of their chances.
At the end of the day, if you want to win a game, you got to put them in. We didn't sink them, so that's how it goes.
In sports, sometimes it is hard to decipher between luck and what is just simply meant to be. For Valiente, the fate of their Colorado Open dream is in question. The world's #1 and his son are mysteriously absent from today's match.
My strategy today is to make the other team rush as much as they can because they've never played together. The checkers that they're falling apart, we're going to take advantage of it.
Valiente, however, is still in good hands with Guillermo Terrera and Robertito Zeta filling in for the Cambiasos. With everything on the line, this is a must-win match for this makeshift team. What's that old saying? When experience and wisdom go head-to-head against youth and skill, there are sure to be fireworks. The play was tight and fiercely contested, but when space did open up, boy did those horses fly. Evenly matched throughout, it was the Santi Torres show that eventually took over the game. Valiente takes it by 1. With this win, they move forward to play Scone Polo Team and earn a chance to play at Polo Fest in the Colorado Open Final. Hawaii Polo Life must regroup. Their chances at redemption lie in a must-win game against Colorado Polo Team next weekend. Join us next week for another episode of In the Saddle, and get your tickets for Polo Fest at polofest.com.